Hey, what's up, Yu-Gi-Oh tubers? This is Blue Lightning back. So what we're going to be talking about today is Yu-Gi-Oh overall. People think that Yu-Gi-Oh and card games in general are failing, and they're not. Well, they are, but they're not. Mainly due to because, like, piss poor management on Konami. Now, I've seen a lot of people complain, and some of them are right too, and on other things they're not. Pricing, yes, I agree, you shouldn't have to spend hundreds or thousands of dollars. Between 50 and 80 is perfectly fine. But if you have to spend more than 80 on a deck, that's ridiculous. And now one of the people that I follow, he made a comment about SP being really good or being the best card, that it's a must. You don't have to play it. You don't have to play meta cards to be good, or meta decks. A lot of what, like, for me, my friends, my locals, they don't get it. That they have the idea in their head, you have, in order to be good, you have to play a meta deck and meta cards. That's not the case. You don't have to. And SP Little Knight is bad. I mean, at first I thought it was an okay after reading it, but it's just basically bad. It's a lot of people play it. That's what I call sheep. People pick up the card because everybody plays it, because they think it's good. Just because everybody plays it doesn't make it good. Hell, you could pick up a Book of Moon and say it's really good, and watch like 10 or more people pick it up and they'll jump on the bandwagon. That's basically how it is. Another example of that is Pokemon. Greninja, like back Gen 5 and 6, people were picking Greninja. Now, myself, I didn't. I like Greninja, but I didn't pick him. I went with Chestnut. But back to card games. While I agree that the pricing is haywire and ridiculous, a lot of card games should be, a lot of cards and a lot of decks should be easy, cheaper, accessible. And like, Link monsters are really bad because half of them can't be destroyed by battle or card effects, and they can't be affected by anything that turns them to defense or face down. And that's really one of the problems. Like, there's hardly any Link hate. And also because of like how many decks, one of the other things, major things that, I don't know how many people have addressed this, but I will, like summoning mechanics, the old rules versus new, a lot of decks, and the most classic example I can give you is Magic Spectre. Because of how they play, the old rules make them thrive, but being that you have to go by the new rules kill them because of their play style. Because you kill Magic Spectres if you can destroy their pendulums and disrupt them and run them over by battle. That's why you run a lot of like battle traps, hand traps. Also, there's a lot of like cards that are like the Forbidden Limited card list, the ban list does have a major impact on the game. And I think that's why a lot of people are quitting, because of the ban list, not just because of Konami's fuck up with whatever they're doing. And by that I mean like decks that shouldn't be like, they have all these fire decks topping and everything, but people that need to find a way around them besides, the common, whatever, the common ways. They could bring back like some of these cards off the ban list, like Colossus, like for Thunder Dragons. Now, being a Chaos player or a Thunder Dragon player, I'm not saying it just because I play it, because Colossus is really good. Most decks nowadays search. Colossus basically stops all of that. Now, you could also run, like I'm running Thunder King Ryo. It's like a mini Colossus. I mean, yeah, it can be run over. I mean, Colossus can be run over too. The funny thing is Colossus, there's things that can stop Colossus, so I don't see why he's still on the ban list. The other thing is that I know a lot of decks, they can abuse the same card in like multiple decks, but ban something else, not like Samorg, like the Link. That's another example. Like, they're banning these cards that don't need to be banned. Samorg players, like people are abusing Samorg in other decks. Instead of banning Samorg, ban a different card. Like Buster Blader, people were abusing the hell out of Union Carrier and Big Chicken, Apex Avion. Don't ban Union Carrier, ban a different card that can not cripple a deck, but like make it really hard for that deck to play. Now one of the decks I'm running is Ninjas. A lot of like decks that they do like with retrains and stuff like that, like anime only cards and stuff. I think a lot of reasons why people think they're lackluster and they don't really have enough support and stuff is because, like, what was it? Like Magna Warriors, for instance, they still have yet to make Bastion Masawa's Magna Warriors. Even though they made Yugiohs and Jadens and all that. The other thing is too, like counter traps. Most counter traps are archetype specific. Now, archetypes like heroes have so much support, they didn't even need a counter trap, but they have one. Now, personally, I think dinosaurs need a counter trap because, let's face it, they don't have a way to get rid of like spells and traps and stuff. They have login Dolga. That's it. They need a way to have main deck built-in spell and trap negates or stuns or something. Same with monsters. They have searchers, but that's about it. They need something to help them. And they also, main problem with decks like Dinos and like other decks is they need a summoning mechanic or a summoning cards like Blackwings. Blackwings you can just special off of each other, but they're only specific to Blackwings. Dinosaurs need the same thing. So do ninjas, so do like all these other archetypes. They should have all archetypes nowadays should have a counter trap with some kind of drawback, with some kind of like lock them into the archetype or the name, like the type or the attribute. When it comes to like in general, like for Yu-Gi-Oh, yes, the card game has become complex, but for card games, that's all to be expected. You couldn't just expect it not to be complex. As much as I don't like it either, but you play a card game, like, you have to expect it. Especially like this. Pokemon, Magic the Gathering, all the same thing. Digimon, it's all the same thing. To be honest, playing a video game is a lot more complicated than playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Or any kind of card game. And most of us can play video games perfectly fine. So, I don't understand what the whole big issue is with people complaining about, you know, card games these days. Like, I get it. A lot of people are quitting because of certain things. Some of them are right, some of them are wrong. I think that's more subjective. But tell me what you guys think in the comments below. And you like the content, hit like and subscribe. Catch you on the flip side.